Hi, welcome to my video. I'm Jennifer Roberts. You're catching me on my YouTube channel True Divine 44, or you can catch me on my Facebook page True Divine 44, Instagram and Twitter being The True Divine. So I put out as much free content as I can, mainly via tarot, to help support, guide and inspire those who want to be supported, guided and inspired. So this is a daily invitation for the energies of the day of the 1st of June. We're starting another month. The months are going by real fast for the 1st of June. So I feel out the energies that are around. I work with energy and recognize it very well. And then I back that up with tarot to bring the storyline to you. It's up to you as the listener to always be discerning, not just with me, but any reader, especially with general readings, in that if something doesn't resonate with you here, then even if it's for something for the future, your higher self, your spirit self will know. If it resonates with you in your heart, take of it what you will, take the best out of it. But if things don't resonate with you, just leave them behind, especially in a general reading, because you can bring things into your life that didn't belong to you in the first place. So for the 1st of June 2020, we've got the first card being a major arcana, this strength card, and we need a lot of strength right now, in that there's a strength here, a fortitude in the silence, in the non-action, which would look like non-action, but the calling from creative source energy has been to make this a time of reset, make this a time of recalibration and rebalancing of the scales, in that we need to be doing things differently. And one thing we've left behind long ago and got complacent about allowing others to take from us is our intent, our focus, and our inner work. The recognition of the true wisdom being in recognizing that what's going on the inside, in the mind, the emotional body, reflects on the outside. It reflects in physical ailments within us, stress, what have you, depression, but it also reverberates out into the collective. So the fact that we have been so far removed from knowing to do the inner work regularly, to self-reflect, to shed from ego, be on the spiritual path, we have all been complicit and complacent in adding to the situation we're dealing with now. And that might sound odd to some, but the fact that we have allowed it or been complacent about it has had an effect. The huge effect also is how we live our lives, because nothing is secret really with energy. It just goes out there, it goes back, it goes back up. It just is, good or bad. It's just energy, and it's constantly moving. So when we're living our lives in a way that doesn't reflect us, that we're living our lives maybe out of fear of change, fear of the unknown, that we're living our lives to please others, and a fear of judgment from others regarding any decisions we might make to be on our spiritual path, and maybe go away that doesn't reflect in their eyes what we should be doing, but with us it really resonates with our heart. So there's a fortitude that's needed here, and the recognition that the strength in determining our own lives, the strength in making sure that our lives fit us as an individual, and if they don't, having the strength to change that, even though it might be difficult at first, having the strength to know that if you can choose not to be offended by people's judgments, by people's actions regarding your actions, whether they want to get in your face or not, if you can have that fortitude and strength to get over that time of change, that transition time where people might have something to say, because a lot of people like to have a lot to say. So there's a silent strength here in that, just having the inner grit to go forward with what your heart's desire is. And this isn't a selfish act. This is realigning the way we should have been living. And that energy, with everything we do, we choose to do it, because it resonates with us, or we enjoy it, it's our passion. That we're around the people, or with the people that lift us up, build us up, give us that fire. That, like I said before, goes out into the collective. And it gives a message, a very different message of, we do not consent to having our lives controlled. We do not consent to having our lives manipulated and twisted up. We only consent to being free to follow our spiritual path. And the strength here in many cases is to not fall for the tricks of the powers that be right now, or the individuals in your life who know how to hook into the guilt that you may be carrying, or hook into the shame that you may be carrying. They're very well versed at it, same as the powers that be are very well versed at predicting certain personality types' behavior, especially when they've been under some kind of planned strain and planned control that makes it even more tense for these people. And it's the strength to see through the tricks, see through the plots of sending in maybe a few actors, for instance, to start a riot rather than build up a protest. So those people who joined in with that thereafter were predictable. They were very predictable, and they did the job that they enrolled to do, because they were complacent and reactionary and refused to have the strength to do the inner work so that they could recognize themselves being reactionary. So it's the strength to, even when the bear is being prodded, to hold the divine feminine space, and not react on the 3D diversions, whether that's people, constructs, things, and to use the divine masculine in this lion to take action regarding your heart's desires, to not feed focus and intent on the 3D control matrix, trying to pull back, trying to quickly catch as many people as they can in that net that they're so used to having them in, to continue the already in play narrative. So the strength to have and do the life that you want, with the people that you want, with the things that you want, your heart's desires, really connecting with your soul's journey, has a huge effect and is very necessary for us to completely change the reality that we live in, for us to live in a more connected reality, for us to live in a more compassionate and open, more of a heart space reality. So with that being said, the second card is this Ten of Air, Ten of Swords. So it speaks of that, yes, it might be difficult, very much so, to not react to being prodded in certain ways. It might be very difficult to focus on what you would see as maybe being selfish, or other people might see as being selfish, but it's your soul's journey. It speaks of when you've had the fortitude and strength to do this, then you very much so bring this cycle to an end very quickly, where you may have been struggling with the way you think about yourself, where you may have been struggling with the way you think about others around you, or a cycle of just being stabbed in the back by too many and still sticking around. So this 10 is the ending of a cycle, making space for a new beginning. And it's beautiful because the last card is the Ace of Cups. So this speaks to everything you need in that cup, being overjoyed, you know, having a true heart. So you go through the fortitude to follow and the strength to follow your soul's path, your soul's journey, where your heart's leading you to, and end that cycle with the Ten of Swords. And here you are following what represents your true heart, your soul's journey, what you're really connected to, what you really are going to grow and expand from. And others around you also under your influence of following that heart, true heart path, that true soul's journey. On the bottom of the deck is the Five of Cups, and it's in reverse. And this speaks to, there's nothing to salvage here. A lot of people have been trying to cling on, especially in relationships, and try to salvage something that has changed, has morphed into something else, a different kind of relationship. But that's underpinning this reading. So that's where this Strength card comes in that you're already having to face yourself, to be brave enough to admit that there's nothing to salvage here as is. It might be that relationships have to change dynamics, but as is, there's nothing to salvage here. So that being said, that's the 31st. No, it's not the 31st. It's the 1st of June 2020 for the energies of the day. If you would like a private reading with me, you can get in touch with the details below. And until next time, much love. Have a wonderful day. Be balanced as always and be whole. Mwah.